Well, what do we have here? Another project that snuck under the door. Um, I picked this up for it's a 73 RT Husqvarna 360, which makes it problematic because 360 parts are harder to find than 250 parts. So, any rate, I had to do what had happened to this one, and I'm suspecting that it was re-sleeved at some time, and they didn't machine it correctly because the piston is too tall and hitting the top of the cylinder head, and I had to machine the piston down to 1.5 millimeter, and it was still just kissing the head. So I ended up making my own head gasket, and usually I'll make them out of a soft aluminum, which seems to work. And then I'll put a little bit of sealer in there just for shits and giggles. Anyway, I try to start this thing, and it wants to start, but it's got this unusual, weird amyl carburetor. It's a 923, I believe. And as you see, it's missing the choke, and that's partially the Oh boy. Here we go again. Tickle the carb. Tickle, tickle. There we go. I wonder. Oh, excuse me. Oh boy. Let's try putting a piece of tape over the mouth of the carburetor. If it'll stick. No, it doesn't want to stick. Okay. That ain't gonna work. Shoot. That's oh boy. Let's try this. The blue tape. Let's try that. Give it a little, try to see if that'll give us enough to give us some choke. I gotta get more blue tape. I'm gonna use this stuff a lot. All right, we got the carburetor choked down a little bit. You pile of forbidden trash. Let's try to. All right, maybe this will. All right, tickle the carb. Nothing. Whew. This thing keeps sliding away from me. Just priming it with my thumb. Trying to choke it with my thumb. Yes. Why not? Ah. Oh. Why? Why you no start? Kill switch. Whew. Gotta get my breath. This thing's a murder. I don't know. I'm trying to think if there's a Makuni carb that would work on that. Maybe that's the way to go. Because this carburetor just ain't. It's like it's just not rich enough or something. Right. Back there. Huh. Let me open that up, the idle air screw. Oh, man, this thing is a killer. Timing? Is it timing? Is that what's wrong? I'm gonna have to check that. And that's partially the problem, is I need to find a top of an amyl carburetor with there's two kinds. There's one where it just is a rod that you pick up and it's got a little handle on it, or it's a cable. And I think this one was a cable, but either one will work. And yeah, I had all of the stuff to put the lights back on, because apparently Husqvarna used all CEV parts. Here's the 6-volt battery that I gotta install, but I'm waiting on a silicon rectifier that I have to put in, and I gotta put in I think it's a 4600 K resistor that goes to ground, because for some reason he needs a ground reference, but not an outright short to the ground. And the cylinder looks really good. It's just the piston. And the other thing that I suspect is whoever worked on this before had to put a CR piston in it because it's only a one-ring piston. The RTs use the two-ring piston. And I do have an RT piston, but it's a 60 over, and it's the Weisco crack the skirt piston that they, for some reason, Weisco pistons, they cracked on the skirts on the upper edges of the transfer skirt port thingy, whatever that is. And so much junk in here, I gotta clean it out today. Yeah, I put the headlight on. It's got I got the high and low switch here. Right here. Off, high, low. That. It's actually a turn signal, but it'll work as a high-low switch. There's the kill switch. It has a points condenser ignition, which is actually I like. People poo-poo them. But those who have been left high and dry on a CDI, they don't talk about that much. Comes with Beta forks. That's what's cool is it has Metzler 6-day tires on it. Unfortunately, they're all cracked up, so I got new tires. I'm going to put more enduro style tires because I do plan on titling this bike so I can ride it on the street. Yeah, and it does have a speedometer cable connection on the back, so I am looking for a video speedometer that goes there. But other than that, I'm going to give it a shot and see if we can start this beast and see what happens. I wish I could get it just to idle, but like I said, the problem is that it doesn't have a choke. So, that's the difficult part. And it would just, for some reason, well, I know why. It's just, it's trying to start cold and no choke. You got to richen up the intake on it to get it to work. So, well, we'll see in a bit, and I'll have the camera set up so we can see if we can try to start this pile of garbage. Hey guys, well, it's been an exciting day today. I got the engine running. Timing was way off. That's why the flames are coming out of the exhaust. This thing looked like a dragon. And the reason it was way off, and I had that whole, was somebody put a black mark in there, and I assumed that was where they had it running, and I put it exactly back the way I found it. Did a little bit of research, come to find out that the height of the piston should be 3.02 millimeters, and that's where the timing needs to be set, and that's what I did. I put the timing at that thing, whatever I said. Any rate, got it running, idling. It took off on me, and I'm not sure why it did that. I maybe the throttle stuck open a little, but boy, she took off on me. I managed to shut that down, and kind of checked everything, checked the throttle, looked fine. checked it again, looked fine. It just, for some reason, it just took off. So, once I got it running again, I thought, well, I'll check the clutch, and I pulled the clutch in, put it in gear, and the back end started to spin out like crazy, doing a burnout on the bench. I wish I'd have got that on camera. You guys would have loved it. But that's kind of scared the shit out of me. So, I, shut her down again. And, changed the oil in it again, or drained the oil in it again, and it's back to white slushy, chocolate slushy. So there must have been more water in there. But that water, what it did is it caused these plates to rust up and stick together. So I got to take this clutch off. And looks like nobody was in there. And that's kind of good. So I know nobody messed with that. But yeah, and that was kind of a weird deal. That's not the first. One time back in the day, my friend had actually kind of a really cool Suzuki RM 125. It was an early one. It was like a 75, I think. Any rate, at the time I was working at a bike shop, and said, "Yeah, give me your old throttle cable, and I'll whip you one up." And so I made took it to work, made a new throttle cable, and brung it back to him. Said, "Yeah, here it is." He goes, "Wow, it's not like the old one." I goes, "What do you mean?" "It's a little short." "What do you mean it's a little short?" "Look, no, it's not short." So we put it on, and instead of looking down the carburetor to see where the throttle slide, I slacked everything off. I thought, okay, well, I'll just slack all of the adjustments off. It should be fine. And I didn't look into I should have looked into the throat of the carburetor to see where the throttle slide was positioned in. But not me. I wanted to fire this baby up. Got on it, and it wouldn't kick start. So I told my friends, just give me a push start and I'll get it going. Man, that thing took off like a bat out of hell. I ended up flying across the street. Luckily there were no cars coming. Shot through the ditch, ended up in the neighbor's yard in his yew bush. Me dazed to no end, and friends laughing at me. And well, needless to say, when I took that throttle cable back to work, found the old one in the garbage, and I'll be darned if I didn't take into account the amount of cable I cut off. So yeah, that's kind of an important thing to look at. So yeah, that one hurt. My pride, my butt, my back, my legs, my head. I had no helmet on. Man, that thing took off like it was full throttle. Nothing stopping it. And yeah, that was a real bummer. Alright. So the next thing we gotta do, let's see if this will, might have to use the other impact. Oh yeah. So, yeah, word to the wise, you know, double check your stuff sometimes, man, because you're gonna be in a world of hurt, or I was at least. Oh wow, that's weird. It's only like a 4mm screw. Dropped here. But yeah, it was weird. I fired it up and I thought, well, let me just check. It was just idling. Luckily, it wasn't speeding away or nothing. And I thought, well, I'll just put it in gear and see what hopefully the clutch works. The back wheel just took off, and I was doing a burnout on the bench here, and it slid off, and then it was just sitting there bouncing back and forth, bat, and I was like, oh my god, oh my god. So yeah, that was not a good experience. But it happens, you can't predict everything. Yeah, this whole clutch wants to come out together instead of one by one. There we go. There we go. What does it look like? Yeah. See, this is all rust. It was stuck together. Well, what we gotta do now is we gotta clean everything off. And then what I do is I'll just take a one of my air Dremels and a Scotch-Brite pad that's on a disc, and just clean everything up and put everything back together. Usually the cork side, you don't have to do much to it, just make sure it's clean. It has some rust embedded, but it should work. It'll work. I mean, it should work. I've done it, but I've done this dozens of times. Oh, that's kind of interesting. Husqvarna. Wow. Yeah, it's just. And sometimes all it takes is you just take everything apart, clean it, put it back together, and the darn thing works pretty good. So, yeah. It's fun. Take your time. Today we're having a whale of a storm out there. It's really weird. It's like sand. All sleety stuff. It's It's like walking in sand. It's really weird, bizarre. Come on. And being that this is a 360 clutch, they're pretty stout. They're stout clutches. I mean, Husqvarna never skimped on their clutches. Yeah, even here there's varnish and rust on the clutch basket here. Well, hopefully the second time I put oil in it, it'll stay cleaner. And I'll just probably do one more oil change on it, and then yeah, it's like a jelly. It's like a gel or something. Weird. Is it metal? It's not metal, so it must be aluminum. Like a 661 aluminum. Pretty heavy duty. What's nice about Husqvarna's is when you take everything out, you can leave the shifter on and the Kickstarter on. Comes out as a unit. There's like a key deal here for the shifter where it keys into it, where the shifter is. So when you shift, it's just keyed and it shifts it. It's kind of a nice deal. They did some pretty good engineering there. But yeah, there was some crazy. I just, I bought this cheap. I know. I paid $900. I really didn't want to pay $900 for it. I wanted to pay. I was thinking more like $700, but with the lights and everything, I think things are it'll be alright. I mean, come on. Yeah, this is just a silly part of it. There we are. So, yeah. Hey, I'm back on the old Husqvarna rt360. I'm putting new tires on. I'm going with these off-road, mainly for better streetability. I had an idea this morning, and I think I'm going to do it. Is I'm going to drill and tap and put that horn right there. 10 mil, bam, it's done. All right, I got the back tire on already, which was a mighty struggle. I had to cut the old tire off. Man, it's just these. Talk about vintage tires. These are. What's cool about them is these are. Let's see, where is it? These are Metzler 6-day tires. How rare. Unfortunately, they're full of cracks and dry rotted. Wow. These were built for, and they are tough tires. They are a bummer to get off. Here's it says Metzler. But anyway, I thought it was kind of neat. See how they put nubs to keep the tire from slipping? Going on here. I thought that was kind of neat. So doesn't require clamps, rim clamps, rim bead clamps, whatever the hell you call them. But yeah, I'm debating on getting some aluminum rims for this setup instead of these steel rims. I don't know why they went with steel, but they did. But yeah, this is kind of a neat little thing.